have 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, thank you. And I think the idea is very simple, so it shouldn't even take me 5 minutes to present. We tested this idea out last night amongst our close friends, and they seem to have a good time with it. Anyways, mobile app space is kind of hot still. You know, it's like dwindling a little bit, but you can still make money if you have a good iPhone and / Android app. That's got to be cheap. You know, it's got to be something you can develop quickly, not too complicated. It's like an immediate buy kind of idea, and it's something that works for mobile. So somebody else came up with this idea, which is called hipster bingo. I think it's well suited to San Francisco. So the idea is you're out with your friends in the Mission or maybe even Soma, and you're going to play hipster bingo. So right now the idea would be you would print out a number of these, and whoever sees, whoever gets bingo first amongst, let's say, old school Chucks, Miller High Life, Parliaments, PBRs, Pumas, etc., hoodies, ironic trucker caps, and mustaches, you could be like, bingo, and generally the idea is whoever wins gets a free drink, and the person with the least buys them a drink. But of course then you have to sort through it, and blah, blah, blah. I think if we had a mobile app where everybody could bring it up on their iPhone and their Android and all join the same game, it'd make it a little bit more fun, a little bit more like interactive. And, something you could definitely sell for 99 cents. And I think, come on, a bingo game that's like intro to computer science, if you're talking about game development. So, should be something we could develop very quickly. I've done enough market research. There is no existing app that does this. You could, of course, branch out into other verticals. There's bar bingo, where you can notice people, waiting for somebody with their significant other, drunk, etc. So there's plenty of verticals, I think, to play in the mobile bingo space. And but I would start off with the hipster bingo because I think it has the most traction right now. So that's my idea. Anybody have any questions or?
Sorry, as far as printing it out, do you really think that's sustainable? First of all, and second of all, if it's an app, isn't that the entire incentive? Is that you can play it on your iPod or your mobile device?
I don't think it's sustainable. Like, I wouldn't say I would build a long-term business model on this, but I have seen very few mobile apps that I would say are sustainable, like in the long term.
Oh, no, I mean, like less so sustainable than more like environmentally friendly. Like, as far as putting it out, I mean, I think it's a great idea. I love it. I feel like this is my life. I look around, I'm like, I think I just want to say that over and over.
Yeah.
But I just...
Nobody won last night, by the way. I was kind of disappointed. Really? I was like, I wanted to test it out. We need to go to enough places because people end up drinking too much at each bar.
What if you took a picture? You saw a picture.
Yeah, so again, there's different ideas. Like, you have to take a picture of what you saw to prove, and it's a timestamp and all that. I agree.
Yeah, the first one that finishes it is great. And then I was thinking, throwing an idea here on the revenue stream. I wonder if you could get companies to sponsor. Like, if you have use this company to sponsor the bingo, that the last card ends up being their headquarters or their business or their bar or whatever.
Absolutely. I think the initial market is the direct app sales on either Apple's App Store or Google's Market or Place or whatever. But then the secondary, I think, revenue stream could come from mobile advertising. So you turn it into a free HTML5 game or whatnot, and you sell mobile advertising space and do some mobile SEO on it.
And here's my idea. Obviously, you would have to make some kind of static thing where randomized for each person's phone so that they...
So one of our problems was last night, it took too much time to make individual cards for each person.
Well, if they're all in the same categories and same rows, everyone can check off the same thing. So they have to be randomized.
People are trying to spy on other people checking things off.
But B, it would be touch, where you could touch one of the boxes, and it would check it off, and it would alert the other guys, like, oh, maybe he has 6 out of 7.
Yeah, like you're close to winning or something, yeah.
And the viral loop in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then you can incorporate that idea of if you touch it, you can sponsor it.
I think I would sponsor. They go to the sponsored ad of like, oh, you can find this thing at the store.
And then for a social, kind of like a viral approach to it, is whoever wins, it posts to their Facebook. Yeah. I won hipster bingo at this bar at this time.
Even every check mark, you can do that too if you wanted to.
You could. But I thought offer some gradation there for people to choose how much they're sharing. And I think most people choose it just like I'm the winner.
Just the winner.
Just the winner.
The thing I thought of was
I don't know if everyone remembers like a year and a half ago when those Facebook quizzes were exploding. What kind of ant are you?
Yeah.
And people could make their own. You could set this up so that people could make their own.
That's a great idea. Make their own bingo, and then it was available on the
bingo
mobile
only
app.
works like in the mission, but like if you can every
You do marina bingo.
That's
you do, like
marketing.
striped shirts.
Polo shirts.
Yeah, I like that. No, user created content, right? Maybe somehow they get, if there's enough response, they get some kind of, payoff or something. I'd be totally into that. Like I said, to me, this is a quick, cheap idea. I would almost be doing it to test out the whole space because I haven't been involved in making a mobile app yet. I don't know Objective-C myself. I know a little bit of Java. I could probably make the Android version of it, but I definitely wouldn't know how to make the iPhone version and market it on the App Store and all that. So if anybody out there has experience in that area, I'd love to talk to you. And you can steal my idea if you want completely. I don't care. Obviously, I'm here offering it up to everybody. But it would be neat to work with somebody end to end on it and then look at other ideas afterwards. Because I think these things are very time dependent. Somebody came up with this hipster bingo, and it's kind of like circulated online in the last month, I've noticed. But all of our friends, nobody had seen it before. And they all loved it. People at all the bars loved it. And so I think it would be like it's more time to market issue, like being fresh and relevant.
That's a new adventure going to a bar too.
Well, yeah, so one of the other things people said they liked about it was it gave them a reason to like really look at everybody in the bar. And one girl would even go over and like ask people what shoes they had because she didn't know like to look that well, and she'd be like, "Oh, are those Pumas?" And they're like, "No, these are Nikes or something." But it kind of like gave people an excuse to be out and having fun. So I enjoyed that aspect of it.
What age demographics would you be targeting?
So I think if you go by the hipster bingo, I think it goes from the regular hipster, which is probably in their 20s, to the grandpa hipster, which is one of the boxes on here. And grandpa hipster is myself. Anybody over 30? If you're over 30, you're a grandpa hipster. So I would think it would be mostly people in their 20s, but maybe a few people in their 30s as well.
Have you ever thought about being like I'm having a competition, 10 people, everyone puts in $1, $5, and the winner gets 20, you get a cut of it.
That's another idea.
Talk to people about that. Are they willing to pay to actually play the game?
I have no idea, but I'd love to do some A/B testing on that, right? I would do a free app where people somehow paid and there was a payoff and we got a cut.
Like the winner actually gets paid a college story.
That could be like a huge incentive or something. Yeah, absolutely. I'm totally open to ideas. I literally came up with this idea 2 or 3 days ago when I saw the hipster bingo, and I did some testing last night, just with our friends, market testing to see, and everybody loved it. Yeah.
I would target it to people that are 13, 14 to maybe 18, 19, and the reason I say that, I think you could get a lot of revenue out of it.
There's a lot of tweens with smartphones.
Oh yes, but focus on the tweens for initially, because I think you would get a lot more revenue, and have a game where there's something that's incorporated so they can raise money for their school projects.
That's a good idea.
Or school teams, because let's face it, everybody's got cutbacks.
You could have a high school bingo.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be just for a bar.
But I think if you focused on that, the viral, and these kids, let's face it, they don't want their football team or the girls' basketball team cut because they don't have funding.
Sure.
And it would be a great way to get the parents involved. So.
And we just take something off the top, 10%.
Absolutely.
I think that's a great idea.
And maybe initially the first amount, it's on the house, the initial funding, so that shows that you're contributing back to the community, to them.
Sure.
And then you get rewarded on the other end. Yes, with a 10% or 15%.
Somebody even said there's a lot of bars that have traditional bingo games, and they just do them as a promotion to the bar. But if you turn that into an app, the bar may buy it, or the people going to the bar may, if it was
advertising free beer, the bar gives away free beer, and everyone will play.
Yeah, I did one at Bigfoot in up on Polk in Russian Hill. And their idea was, it was free. It's just like a promotion on Monday night, and whoever wins that round, I think, gets a shot or something. But I think there's a lot of ideas around. And I looked up all the mobile bingo games right now are lame. They're the lamest ideas possible to put out to market, like just traditional bingo or what was alphabet bingo, I don't even know what that is, but I looked and there's nobody doing like an interesting bingo game. And maybe even, you know, for traditional bingo players, once, you know, maybe a little time goes on and iPads are $100 a piece or something, you could offer it up to, you know, the standard bingo market or something.
And the thing that just
All right, that's 10 minutes.
Okay,
So
all right.
thank you so much.